Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Death Stranding. But before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So we've been doing a lot of, I would say pretty straightforward, more or less, missions so far. Either to Knot City, from Knot City, to the way station, to the distribution center. It's all been very, more or less straightforward. Since there's no online multiplayer aspect, essentially, there are a limited number of ways that you can interact with other players. One of them is to leave a sign. You can leave other things like structures behind that once they are in the chiral network area, or once your structure is in their chiral network area, then they'll be able to see it and use it and say, hey, thanks for that. Get that positive reinforcement by helping someone else out. So now we are given the task of a new structure. So up to this point, we've had ladders, we've had the anchor with a rope, we've had the ability to create a post box and a way station. Now we're able to add bridges. Bridges are an entirely different dynamic than what we've gotten used to. So you still use your PCC to drop down the starting of the structure, the base, but then you need to add materials to it in order to actually build it. Plus, you can reinforce it, creating an even better structure. As you can see here, level 1, level 2, level 3, which will give you, or it'll give your structure the ability to be more resistant to the time fall. So there we go. We dropped off all the materials needed, and it is now building that bridge across. It's a nice sturdy structure. You can go across a wider area, and that bridge also provides power. Doesn't really help us out at this point, but I imagine in the near future it will help us out a lot. All right. Yeah, and people will be able to see once they get to this point within their own campaign, they'll have this bridge available. Because it was an NPC that put it down, it's not quite the same as if a player had put the bridge down. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so you can see you can upgrade the material, upgrade the bridge, but you have to have the right materials, and this requires the chiral crystals and metal. A lot of times, or some of the time, you'll see an NPC or a player drop something, and it'll say, metals or ceramics or whatever the case may be. It'll be a piece of cargo with nowhere that it needs to be dropped off at, and that's what that is. So you can either carry it around with you until you need it, or you drop it off at one of these centers where you can fabricate equipment, and then if you want to build a bridge or another structure that requires those metals or resins or whatever it happens to be, then you can reclaim it from that area. They'll put it into a case. You take the case out to where you're wanting to build something, and then create that structure there. So at the beginning, you really feel like, I felt like I was just going to be running around everywhere and not be able to do anything else. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's not just rudimentary ways of travel using a ladder as a bridge, etc. You actually have an actual bridge that you can use, as well as more sophisticated structures. There we go. Wanted to make sure I was grabbing these crystals. One of the new things I can, because at the beginning you see these structures and they're like, oh, you can't pick that up. You don't have a way of doing that. And now all of a sudden we can start picking them up. Yeah, look at that right there. Metals, 50. So we can take that, drop it off at the distribution center, and then we'll have that many more metals that we can use. Picking up some cryptobiotics. There we go. They'll fly away, so you have to really get into it. There we go. Sandalweed. If you don't have a spare pair of boots and your boots are about shot, you can grab the sandalweed and use them. I'm assuming it's emergency use only kind of thing. I can't imagine that the sandalweed would be worth having in lieu of boots, but time will tell. I'll have to try it one time to see what happens. Yeah, going around picking up as many crystals as I can. Since I have the ability and opportunity to do so. You can see there's some enemies over there, that orange. Anything that pops up blue, it's unattended. Anything that's orange is an enemy unit or enemy faction that happens to have a piece of cargo. So you're not really pinging an enemy, but you're pinging the cargo that they're carrying. So unlike the BTs, where you have to be really, really quite close in order to scan them, and then you only get kind of a weird outline of them. Enemy units, you don't actually scan the unit themselves, but you scan the cargo that they're holding. At least at this distance. Once you get close enough, I would assume that you scan the enemy unit. Alright, I got 2 PCCs. It's one-time use. Oh. No network out this far, so I won't be able to build anything with the PCC. So I'll just have to move on. Approaching destination. Alright, so since that doesn't work, we're going to put that away. And we'll go ahead and move quietly forward. Since there's no distance marker for everything that you scan, oh, there we go. It's pretty much right in front of us. Now, in addition to being able to harvest these crystals that we've been seeing here and there from the beginning, we also got our first usable weapon, the Mazer, which is kind of like a laser pistol. Shoots out like a little lightning bolt. I'm assuming it's quite loud if you use it. So I'm going to try and quietly take these guys out so the whole camp isn't coming after us. In order to do that, you have to sneak up behind them and use the rope. The rope, which is kind of a multi-tool of sorts. It's used as an identifier in the different locations, bridges locations, and then it can also be used to subdue these guys. There's a couple guys here relatively close. Wondering if this guy isn't going to be circling back around close to me, or close enough that I can sneak up behind him. Here he comes. Keep an eye on the left a little bit, make sure that guy isn't... Ooh, he saw me. There we go. Knocked him out. There, you can see the two stars there. All right, so this guy's coming. Since we're behind the wall, that should be okay. So didn't do too great with that first guy. The tall grass apparently wasn't as much of a camouflage once they get within a certain range. So it's good at distance, but once they get close enough, they're like, what is that? Harkens back to the Metal Gear Solid, where they have like, I almost want to see these guys with a little like exclamation mark above their head. Reap. But that's okay. All right, right up there we go. I think if you get too close, they would probably also know that you're there. So you need to make sure that you're crouch walking, but also have that rope in the ready position. Using the aim button, which on PlayStation is the L2. Got all these vehicles with I'm guessing moss growing on them. Maybe some sort of plant life. I don't know. Oh, there's two guys. Again, close to each other. Makes it more difficult to stay in stealth. So we'll close in the gap here between us and the other guy. It looks like he's on the other side there. Hopefully this guy doesn't get too close. I don't think there's enough of a gap there. Okay, he moved. Where's this guy at? He's still there, so we should be okay. Oh, okay, maybe not. The guy on the left, he moved, I feel like, relatively quickly after stopping the last time. All right, so he's moving, trying to get it into a more neutral position where I could go after either one of them depending on which direction they go. And I feel like if the one guy sees the other one on the ground, they'll raise the alarm. All right, so I think I can come up behind this guy now. see, should be good enough. I'm kind of coming from the side more than the back. But it was fine. It's almost like you're wrapping them up. Adding weight all along the way. There's what, 1 or 2 guys down there? At least one. Thought I saw 2 orange bits. There he is. Keep far enough away from the guy that he's not going to see me even in the tall grass. Try and get close enough to him before he like turns around or anything. All right, there we go. Knocked another one off. Up to 87.2 kilograms out of 120. It's a lot of weight. In terms of how much everything weighs, I think they're trying to be realistic. In terms of how much one person can carry, I feel like not as much. Having one person go any distance with 120 kilograms seems like a lot to ask of anyone. All right, I think that's the whole camp, and that's locked. So who knows what's behind there. All right, so we need to go and hack their post box, the mule post box, and then pick up the factory data that we were contracted to pick up. I'm quickly getting up to my weight limit. 122. It's like, I guess that's it. Let's go ahead and move along. This is a stack and a half. All right, so we got the data. Oh, that's the entrance. Entrance to what? To their camp? That's pretty crazy. This was just heading up to the entrance. All right, so we need to go ahead and deliver this factory data. Woo! It is shifting on me. I mean, it doesn't help that everything is cattywampus. This whole thing's on a hillside, and I've got a big stack of items. And every time you turn the camera to face where you want to head, all of a sudden your weight shifts, and then you got to figure out, or you have to reorientate or rebalance yourself so you can not fall over and drop your cargo and damage your cargo. And slowly, if you hold both of the balance buttons while you're going down, you seem to have you go more slowly, somewhat, but you're much, much more balanced. You're kind of bracing. You're like, I know this is going to be a problem. So you're pretty solid. I'm still going to try to avoid any rocks. This is quite, I mean, you can see in the distance the stream, so you can see the incline that I'm on. We'll slowly make our way down. Oop, grip for balance. There we go. Yeah, I can't really pick anything else up without going over my total. So there we go. Let's free our hands up. We'll go ahead and drink some water. max out our available stamina. You can see right on the right hand side of that stamina bar there's a little bit that's kind of whited off, and I'm not sure if that's just the showing the upper limit or if it's stamina that's you can't get back without resting, because honestly it could go either way. All right, let's pick up some of these cryptobiotics. Oop. Didn't realize you could get more than that. All right, we're heading back to the distribution center. So we can drop this stuff off. We can also recycle the metals and whatnot that we picked up. And it was a good first foray into the stealth mechanics and mule camps. Sometimes the longest road is just trying to get back to or wherever you're trying to go. Trying to get back, trying to go to wherever you're going. You can feel like the last 5 minutes are the longest part of any trip. And you might be considering going as fast as you can, but remember how much trouble we had maintaining balance just trying to turn around. Yeah, just walking. The weight is shifting on our back and it's trying to take us out, as well as the cargo itself. Mushrooms. So we can see our own footprints from when we came out this direction, going back. Yeah. Trying to run, and we're losing our balance as we're going. Slowly but surely we're making our way back, and it's that last, I don't know, I want to say maybe 200, 300 meters that you just feel like it's taking forever to get back. Wouldn't it be nice to grab that bike and do the whole thing? Wouldn't it be easier? Especially if the bike had a nice luggage rack where you could put all these items on there and not have to worry about them falling off. All right, but we made it. Made it through the mule camp, mostly in stealth. Got what we needed, bringing it back so that it'll help the cause and these guys specifically. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Back, are you? Delivery's in damn fine shape.
Active skeletons attached to your legs to enhance strength and facilitate movement. This particular model will allow you to carry heavier loads and help maintain your balance. When boosted, you'll be able to move somewhat faster at the expense of power, of course. While this basic type does not excel in any particular category, it is resilient, and its battery consumption is comparatively low. Much better than relying on your legs alone, in short. See for yourself.